What's up, guys? It's your boy, Muddy Grenade, back at it again with another Comic Catastrophe. I don't know why I made my intro like that. I'm sticking with it. So for our second episode of Comic Catastrophe, we're going to be taking a look at the official Life Facts video entitled 10 Times Marvel and DC Sexualize Their Superheroes. That just, that's quite the jump from my last episode when you think about it. But we're going to take a look at it anyways, because I don't cut corners, so that didn't make any sense. So first off, taking a look at the title, I have to give respect to Official Life Facts for not capitalizing sexualize in the title, since that's like clickbait 101. So let's take a look at the description. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. In today's video, we have another list about conspiracy theories. Wait, how are these conspiracy theories? Is Power Girl's boob window supposed to secretly symbolize the Illuminati? Whatever. Which is 10 times Marvel and DC sexualize their superheroes. Sometimes Marvel and DC wants to get more money, just like every other business that ever existed. Therefore, they sexualize their heroes. It does work, but it is very degrading. These are 10 times Marvel and DC sexualize their superheroes. Anyways, enough talking. Here is 10 times Marvel and DC sexualize their superheroes. Yeah, I didn't. You said that twice. I didn't alter that. I didn't alter that text or anything. I copy and pasted it straight off. I mean, if you're going to call yourself Official Life Facts, maybe you should learn how to write any kind of official document or speak with any kind of official grammar. Like, come on, dude. I already have a bad impression of you, and I haven't even watched the video yet. So, first of all, I need to address the channel name, Official Life Facts. For one, none of your videos are factual. They're all opinion-based. But two, despite the fact that a good majority of your videos are based on comic books or comic book movies, your channel name has no way of showing that. It sounds like a channel similar to Factsverse. Just who is this channel run by anyways? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Valenplana. Valenplana is a wrestling fanboy who runs a total of not one, not two, not three, but 4 different YouTube channels. Official Life Facts, his comic, movie, TV channel. Plana Productions, his WWE and most popular channel. No Life P, his basketball channel that has been inactive for months and is basically dead. And Valenplana, his personal channel. All of his channels are generally filled with top 10 lists, gaming videos, and opinionated video essays. And while there's technically nothing wrong with having 4 different channels all at the same time, it's definitely a burden on one's conscience and must cause some serious burnout. No wonder you've basically dropped your basketball channel. It didn't get crap reviews, and honestly, it didn't get crap reviews and was honestly just another cog in the machine kind of channel. It wasn't special and had no niche. If you take a look at his Twitter bio, it says he's just a YouTuber with over 300,000 subs! And yet, if you take a look at any of his channels, he has yet to get over 200,000 subs on any of them. Unless, of course, he means he has 300k subs collectively over his channels, in which he barely gets over that with 312,262 subs over 4 friggin' channels. Trust me, I did the math. None of this would be a problem, per se, if he didn't try to act way smarter than he actually is. His channel name is Official Life Facts, for God's sake, and yet, he constantly repeats himself in his description, makes pathetic grammar errors, and consistently makes typos. Anyways, I've droned on about Valenplana for long enough, so let's just get to the actual video. Taking a look at the thumbnail, of course Mr. Plana, and I'm just going to refer to Official Life Facts as Valenplana or something like that, because that channel name is just a mouthful. Of course Mr. Plana here had to put the bustiest picture of Power Girl that he could find without getting his video taken down for sexual content. The Starfire is fine. Before we get into the video, Jesus, Muddy, get on with it! I know, just give me a second. Before we get into the video, let's get one thing straight. Almost every superhero is sexualized. The males wear skin-tight suits that show off their muscles, and the women wear skin-tight revealing clothes to show off their curvy bits. Alright? Most people, especially men, don't want to read a story about unathletic characters because comics aren't supposed to be about the real world. They're not supposed to be realistic. It's about fun stories that are supposed to amaze people and inspire them to be better who they are, not make them feel at home. Okay, now we'll get on to the video.
Number 10, Psylocke. When it was announced that Psylocke was going to make an appearance in X-Men Apocalypse, many fans were very excited. After seeing her costume for the first time, some people were a little disappointed. Bryan Singer, the director of the movie, believed that the character should have had her classic costume and wanted it to accurately resemble the one in the comics, but that also meant that it had to look sexual. In an interview, Olivia Munn, the actress who plays Psylocke, admitted that the costume is very sexual, but she doesn't have a problem with that. She said that Psylocke is very powerful and lethal, and it doesn't really matter what she's wearing as long as people understand how strong she truly is. The only thing she finds annoying about the costume is the fact that it is way too tight.
So instead of talking about her skin-tight, super sexy costume in the comics, you instead talk about her generic comic book to comic book movie costume? Not really helping your cause, man. Oh, and by the way, I watched the interview that you show here, and she doesn't say anything about her being okay with the costume being too sexy or anything like that. She just says that she agreed with Bryan Singer that it should be similar to the comics, but should be their own. And unlike you, Valenplana, I actually linked the interview in the description.
Number 9, Ironheart.
Oh, Jesus.
Riri Williams is a 15-year-old MIT student who managed to build her own version of Iron Man's suit from scratch. Introducing this character helped by promoting diversity, but it also led to Marvel receiving a lot of criticism. Before the first issue was published, several variant covers were released, and this angered many fans. They were upset because Riri was supposed to be a young girl, but these drawings made it seem like she was in her early 20s.
How? Because she showed off a bit of belly button and looked abnormally tall? Well, for the former, have you seen teenage girls nowadays? Like, they love showing off their belly buttons and making themselves look older than they actually are. And for the latter, that's just a case of poor artistic choice.
Fans felt like the only reason why the artist did not make her look like a 15-year-old is because making her look older would most likely increase the amount of sales.
Dude, really? Why would you put that? That's just a fan cover. Don't put that crap in your video if Marvel had nothing to do with it.
Number 8, Namor. Sometimes people forget that male superheroes have also been sexualized plenty of times.
People haven't forgotten about that. Most people just don't care, because shirtless men are socially acceptable, but when a woman shows some skin in a comic book, it becomes a crime against humanity.
For some reason, his sex appeal is still used to help him gain fans.
What? Exactly 0 people have ever said, I like Namor because he's a sexy male character. Who the frick said that? Please, Valen, tell me. I would love to know.
In many comics, Namor is seen only wearing underwear or shorts.
Maybe because he lives underwater and wearing extra garments would just slow him down? I mean, is wearing a one-piece too sexual now? Sorry, Michael Phelps. You're just too much of a sex symbol to wear that one-piece swimsuit. Gotta take weird gold medals now.
One of his most famous stories involved him having a crush on Invisible Woman. Even in the Silver Age, Sue Storm was attracted to him, but knew she could never have him because her heart still belonged to Reed. The main problem with this story is that he barely wore any clothes, and his anti-hero nature and attractiveness was only used to make more people like him.
Again, where has that ever been said?
When Gerald Perel's variant cover was released, some fans finally started to realize that Namor was an over-sexualized character.
Who said this? Where did they say that? Is it because he only wears underwear? If that's the case, take a look at his AVX outfit where he's fully clothed. I guess he's still over-sexualized because he's attractive. Also, a quick side note, why didn't you put Sue Storm on this list? Like, when she was wearing her cutout costume with the 4 cut out over her breasts, there was really no excuse for that. Like, even if it was in the comics supposed to make Mr. Fantastic notice her, it was pretty obvious that the artist just wanted to get more pervy 13-year-old boys to read the comics. Yes, characters can get over-sexualized in comics. Valenplana is just doing a terrible job convincing people.
Number 7, Black Widow.
Okay, first of all, before we even get into this part of the video, Black Widow is supposed to be sexy. She's a spy, for Christ's sake. She's supposed to seduct men into doing what she wants. At the same time, she's supposed to appear to be just a sex partner who uses her body to get what she wants, and then she kicks people's asses when they don't expect it. It's part of her character.
In 2010, Iron Man 2 came out, and that's when she made her first appearance in the MCU. Everyone can agree that her fight scenes were awesome, but that doesn't change the fact that her introduction was far from perfect. In the movie, Black Widow is undercover as Natalie Rushman, and she's applying to be Stark's new assistant. Tony asks his bodyguard to give her a lesson in boxing, and this causes her to enter the ring in a very seductive way.
Seduction, everyone. It's seductive because she did it slowly.
He looks at her resume and finds a photo of her modeling in Tokyo with lacy undergarments, which many people thought was very unnecessary.
The only people who thought it was unnecessary were the triggered feminists who didn't like a sexy female character being a sexy female character.
Not only did it add nothing to the plot, but it also made it seem like Black Widow was only in the film for sex appeal.
Well, for anyone who actually watched the movie, you know that's not true.
Number 6, Power Girl.
And here's what we've all been waiting for. At number 6.
As soon as you search up her name, you'll find an endless amount of drawings that sexualize her.
Maybe because she has a boob window and drawing her without it would be inaccurate.
Some people believe that she deserves a new costume that does not have a hole over her breast.
Oh, you mean this one that nobody liked? Of course you didn't show this picture. That would mean you have to contradict yourself, Valen, you fucking idiot.
The real reason why her breasts were so big is because the original artist, Wally Wood, chose to enlarge them with each issue. Of course, the editors noticed, but they did nothing to stop it.
Well, first of all, there's no real proof to this statement. In a 2006 blog spot by Written World, he showed a series of images from All-Star Comics number 58 to number 65 showing frontal shots of Power Girl. And just by taking a look at them, you can see that there is no noticeable enlargement of her breasts. And if there is, it's barely noticeable, and you'd have to spend a stupid amount of time actually trying to study the size of a fictional female character's breast size in a comic book.
Number 5, Nightwing. There is a reason why many people consider him the most attractive male character in the history of comics.
Maybe because that's how the artists draw him?
Nightwing was over-sexualized in the New 52 universe, and some fans chose to ignore this because they were blinded by his good looks.
Wait, what? How does that make any sense? How do the character's good looks blind someone to their over-sexualism? Who the hell gets blinded by a character's good looks in a comic book anyways? And what do you mean he got over-sexualized in the New 52? Why'd you say it like that specifically? How did he get over-sexualized specifically in the New 52 compared to his previous and later incarnations?
Even though he's covered up most of the time, DC artists still managed to sexualize him by making his costume so tight and showing off his butt.
Nightwing's butt is more of a running gag rather than a sexualization. For example, when Midnighter says he'd recognize Nightwing's butt anywhere, it's just a joke, alright? I mean, people don't like Nightwing because he has a butt.
The comic series, Grayson, has been criticized a few times because it caused some people to see Nightwing as a sex symbol. The writer defended his comic and said that Dick's youthfulness is what attracts the readers. He said that Nightwing is confident, flirty, and funny, while also occasionally being mysterious, which is why so many people find him attractive.
I'd love to see the interview, Valen, but you didn't give any citations.
Number 4, Wonder Woman. This superhero is known as the symbol of female empowerment, so it's difficult to understand why an artist would want to over-sexualize her.
Well, they don't, so...
If you have seen Frank Cho's artwork before, then you know that he usually draws female characters in a very sexual way. He was supposed to be the variant cover artist for Wonder Woman's 22-issue run, but he quit after the 6th issue. After releasing 3 covers...
Yeah, and these 2 aren't a part of the 3. These are the 3 covers that Frank Cho released. The other 2 are a pinup and a sketch cover that Cho did on his own time.
Many people were very upset because they did not like how his drawings focused on Wonder Woman's breasts and butt. Some people think that Cho quit because he couldn't handle all the negative comments that he received on social media, but that's not true. According to Cho, everyone loved his covers, and the only person who had a problem with it was the writer of Wonder Woman. He said that the writer always tried to alter and censor his artwork because he disliked the fact that it showed too much skin. Cho believed that he should have had no editorial control over his covers, which is why he eventually decided to quit.
It is true that Cho did indeed quit over disagreements with Greg Rucka, so props on you for getting something right. But the whole social media comment is kind of stupid. I mean, the Facebook post that you showed not only said the same thing, but they have nothing to do with Wonder Woman. He's just talking about a Wasp sketch cover. This one to be specific.
Number 3, Starfire. There's no denying the fact that Starfire is one of the most sexualized characters in comic books. In the 80s, DC Comics Presents number 26 was released, and Starfire barely wore any clothes.
First of all, it's pronounced presents, not presents. Second of all, DC Comics Presents I just kind of contradicted myself, didn't there? DC Comics Presents number 26 is just the first appearance of Starfire, and while yes, she was generally scantily clad, she wasn't sexualized, she just wore revealing clothes because that's who she is. She's not from our world, and she has no fear of showing off her body. She's extremely attractive and extremely powerful, and her casually walking around naked, or almost naked, is just part of who she is. Sex isn't as risque on her world as it is here.
Some fans enjoyed this version of the character, while others disliked it because it did not remind them of the innocent and kind Starfire they met in the animated Teen Titans show.
Well, yeah, because that Starfire and that show holds a special place in people's hearts. It holds one in mine. But characters change, and were often portrayed differently in that show than they are in the comics. They weren't going to show Starfire showing cleavage or swimming around naked because it's a kid's show. Like, use some common sense, Jesus Christ.
Number 2, Marvel Swimsuit Specials.
Really? You know, I was actually going to let this one slide, mostly because the swimsuit specials were obviously just supposed to be fun, over-sexualizations for the sake of eye candy and fan service. But then he said this.
From 1991 through 1995, Marvel published swimsuit specials that showed heroes and villains taking time off from saving the world.
Wait. You mean to imply that the swimsuit specials were canon? Are you serious? This is my problem with you, Valen. This is my problem with What Culture Comics and all the other fake comic book channels that just use the buzz of CBMs to get views. You don't do any research, you find some comic book panels that prove your point, and then throw in a couple of names and numbers to make yourself sound smart. You spread lies and misinformation. You use clickbait to inflate your undeserved view counts, and worst of all, you make comic books look bad.
And number 1, Harley Quinn.
Wouldn't be a comic book top 10 list without mentioning Harley Quinn or Deadpool, huh?
In Suicide Squad, Harley made her first appearance in the DCEU, and some people were a little disappointed because she did not wear her iconic Jester outfit.
Dude, Harley Quinn has been wearing her classic Jester costume for years now. It would honestly make less sense for her to wear her Jester costume. It wouldn't really fit in the DCEU, and it would be kind of inaccurate to the kind of Harley she is portraying.
According to Margot Robbie, Harley is wearing hot pants because they're sparkly and fun, not because she wants the guys to look at her ass.
Well, that was a fiasco. That wraps it up for this video. I hope this didn't end up going too long. If it did, and you stuck around this long, appreciate you. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Can we get to 10 likes on this video, please?
But seriously, if you don't like the video, don't like it. But any like would be appreciated. If you share the video, I'd appreciate it. If you like the video, if you subscribe, if you comment, I'd really appreciate it, guys. But till next time, Mighty Grenade, signing off.